On today's episode of Inside Houston Real Estate, we are continuing our series on the Colton Master-planned Community, and we're going to feature one of the 65-foot wide builders, and that builder's name is J. Patrick. They have models that range from 28 to 4,600 square feet, anywhere from $623,000 to $775,000 base price. But the model that we're featuring today is 4,300 square feet. The base price is $712,000. But as shown and as featured, this model will come in approximately $1.2 million. This is an absolutely beautiful model, and without any further ado, let's get this tour started. Welcome to the Como 2 model. Step inside. All right, so the first thing I notice is these beautiful double door entry, wrought iron doors with the glass, really nice. Very high ceilings in here. And here, when you step in, immediately to your right is going to be a study. I'm not going to go into now. The sales professional is here. I used to work with her. She's a great lady. We might introduce you to her later. But barn door entry leading into that. And you also have a window right above. So you have a lot of natural light flooding into this house. I love the choice of the light fixtures. Now, Morgan, before we go deeper in the home, let's shoot down this mini hallway. And folks, as I mentioned before, this is a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath. You have the primary down. In this secondary bedroom, you have a queen size bed. Nice large windows here facing the front of the home. And here you have your closet, walk-in. Pretty nice size for a secondary bedroom. This is a great bedroom for guests or children home from college, or even family, mother-in-law situation, things of that nature. Full bathroom. Morgan, take a look at this shower here. I love the choice of the tile, full tile surround, mud set. Just a nice presentation for a bathroom. All right, let's continue on. All right, now you'll see here to my left, you have a beautiful staircase going up. I love the choice of design for the banister and the railing. And then Morgan, follow me in. And this is really more of a great room feel. However, this would be considered your formal dining area. You can see there's a table set up here for 8. I love the choice of the wood beams on the ceiling here, really defining this space. And before we get into the actual living area, you have your half bath right here. And Morgan, I'm gonna let you go in and you can point around, but you have a nice pedestal sink. I love the stone backsplash here on the wall. Beautifully done. And how do you like this living area? And obviously the highlight, Morgan, what's the highlight of this room?
For me, it's the windows, but I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
The fireplace.
You know it. Folks, we've done so many tours, we know how each other thinks. But look at the beautiful fireplace here. You have this nice wood panel wall going all the way from floor to ceiling, and I'd have to guess that these are approximately 20 to 21 foot high ceilings. You have a nice set of floating shelves here on the right, and there's just a color scheme of this home really appeals to me. As Morgan mentioned, outside is kind of a woodsy feel, so all of the brown and earth tones really go great for the area. And you also have on this side some more floating shelves, so those actually bookend the centerpiece of this living area. All right, let's move on this way, and we'll step into the laundry area. And this you can, folks, call a true utility room because there is a sink, and you can see you have the nice tall GE front-loading washer and dryer, enough cabinet space here, and the garage here is a 3-car tandem garage. So let's step inside here. And they did epoxy floating on the floors. And you can see this is your tandem side of the garage. So you can pull 2 cars in back to back or bumper to bumper here, and then your single car side here. So nice sized garage. And they utilize this for buyers when they come out who want to pick their stone colors and things of that nature, because that's an opportunity you will have when you're designing your home. All right, let's move on. And off the kitchen, you have your pantry. So this is a decent sized pantry, plenty of shelving there. Good Morgan, outside of the fireplace wall, what are your thoughts about this kitchen when you first see it?
I love the kitchen. I like the color scheme choices.
Color scheme's nice. So you have 3 bar stools here. No cabinets underneath, but it's just a nice spacious island. You have a 60/40 farmhouse sink. I love the choice of the hardware, but we also have to talk about these pendant lights. You know, when pendant lights first became popular, they were just like these little narrow things that hung down. But now you're practically getting full-on chandelier light fixtures as pendant lights. But you think of the size of the island, you do want to have enough lighting covering the space. Now the appliance package in here is the GE Cafe series. I think it's pretty nice. The black paneling, black microwave. I love the choice of the brass hardware and the pulls here on all of your appliances. But let's also talk about the fact that the cabinetry goes all the way up to the ceiling. And then what's nicely done is you have your top cabinets that have lighting inside. So a great place to, highlight vases or nice glassware that you may have. Under cabinet lighting, the drawers are on soft close, really nice soft close. But take a look at this beautiful cooktop, 6-burner cooktop, vent hood. I love the way they wrap the vent hood. So once again, the color scheme in here is great. You have your trash pull out here, 2 trash cans, and you have a double oven. And before I go any further, I almost forgot, on either side of your cooktop, you have these pull-out cabinets. So this is great right here for spices. And on this side, for your taller utensils like spatulas and maybe even tall knives, things of that nature, this is a great place for those. All right, now just here off the kitchen, you have your breakfast nook area. They chose to stage this with a round table seating for 4. You can actually go a little bit larger. You can go rectangular, have a table for 6, but it's a great space. Even you have enough room here for an armoire to present more of your silverware and dishware and what have you. All right, now while we're here, let's talk about the backyard. So you have a slider, which I just locked, and we're gonna take you outside and show you the backyard because this yard is absolutely huge. It's 26,000 square feet. All right, so we have stepped out onto the rear covered patio. I once again love this dark color brick. I have yet to see this brick on any other house, so that's really nice. You have a full outdoor kitchen with the sink and the barbecue here, beautifully done. Ceiling fan, ample lighting out here, and I just love the paint colors that they use. All right, now this yard, as I mentioned, might be one of the largest yards here in Colton. It's 26,000 square feet. Now, J. Patrick here builds on 65-foot wide lots. So this is something that is definitely way oversized. So, Morgan, I don't know how much we need to show, but you can just pan the camera around. If you're the folks that are lucky enough to be able to buy this model some years from now when they put up for sale, this is an absolutely great yard. I like the fact that they did the pergola here for outdoor eating. You have basically a fire pit. It's just very nicely done. I'm not going to bother walking around, but they also put a nice little water feature here. It's a little bit of a fountain bowl that sits here in front of the living area. And you'll see when we go upstairs later, there is a balcony on the 2nd floor. So I just think it's a beautiful home from the front and from the rear.
Absolutely. I mean, you could fit tennis courts, basketball court, pool. It's massive.
This could be a huge, like you said, a huge entertainment area. Okay, great. So let's go back inside. All right, so we're now going to make our way to the primary bedroom. And as we head that way, Morgan, just pan up so our viewers can see this presentation of the second floor with the open railing that goes around. It's really quite dramatic. And I want to point out this ceiling fan. It reminds me of those huge ceiling fans you see in Costco or some of those warehouses.
Yes.
So it gives a lot of air flowing through here. Now, the other thing I want to point out is a lot of times you'll open a door and you'll be right in the bedroom. So you have this like kind of little angled area here so you don't just step right into the bedroom, which is great. You can place some art here as featured. But look at this beautiful bedroom. You have a bay window there, wood paneling on the ceiling as well as the wood beams. And to give you some scale of this room, this is a king size bed. And you can see you still have plenty of room. These night tables are actually not that wide, so you can go with larger furniture if you chose to. I like how they highlighted this back headboard wall with the wood paneling here. I just think this is a really nice bedroom, nice and spacious, and the ceiling detail is perfect. All right, you have a double door entry leading into your primary bath. And these are nice doors. They're not just plain flat doors. It has some design element to it. But Morgan, step into this bathroom. This is beautiful. So immediately to the right is your water closet. So we don't need to spend any time there. You also have your linen closet right here, double door entry. But let's talk about these porcelain tiles on the floor. We haven't seen this particular pattern in any of the homes we filmed. You have this huge standalone tub, and take a look at the accent wall here. They carried and continued the tile on the floor up through the shower area, and it goes from floor to ceiling. And folks, this is also a car wash shower. So you can come in on one side, and Morgan, I think you're gonna meet me on the other side, but this is absolutely huge. So you have 2 rain heads, 2 regular shower heads. You have your shampoo bottle niches on each side. So everybody is covered in here. Everybody has their own space. You have 3 landscape windows here that are frosted so you still get some natural light coming in, and obviously also nice lighting on the top. I love the mud set floors and the bench, but the presentation with this full porcelain tile going around is really beautiful. All right. Now stepping back in, you have your double vanity here. So you have your 2 sinks, and take a look at these beautiful vanity lights. So these are as large as the pendant lights we saw over the kitchen island. And I love the cabinetry here. This is a design of wood cabinetry that I haven't seen anywhere before. So this is nicely done. Soft close, really large spacious drawers. Those are soft close as well. And instead of having separate mirrors, you have a mirror that literally runs the length of the vanity areas here. And that absolutely opens up the space even more. All right, now let us lead into the primary closet. There is a double door entry coming in. And I don't need to talk too much in here. Folks, I would think if you purchase this home, if this isn't enough hanging space, you have the option to always build this up higher, do a custom closet, and have higher racks going around. But for most people, I would think this is adequate space. But you let us know in the comments, what are your thoughts on this closet? And what are your thoughts on this bathroom? Do you love the design of it? Do you think it's just average? Could you live with it? Do you love it? Let us know.
Okay, so now we're going to take you up to the 2nd floor, and before we get there, I just want to point out the staircase really quickly. You have some nice, large, tall walls, so you have plenty of space to hang some art, some mirrors, and then we wanted to point out the railings as well. Really nicely, they're nice and open, so it maintains that nice open feel even from the 2nd floor. And we will actually make our way this way first. So coming off and going on to the left, we'll hit this secondary bedroom. There are 2 secondary bedrooms up here, as well as a game room, a cinema room, and even a balcony. So we'll get to that soon. Now we are in secondary bedroom number 2. Really nice open feel. It also kind of has a vaulted ceiling. I don't know if you can pick that up in the video, but really nicely done. I like how they staged it, you know, very neutral. It's got a football sports feel to it, so that's nice. You have a nice walk-in closet.
Wow, that's pretty spacious.
Yes, nice walk-in closet. It's got some nice arm width in here. Perfect
Yeah.
for what you need. It does have a light, it's just not on.
Okay.
And double door entry for that as well. You have some nice picture windows looking out onto the street. And then I will let you come on in here, but you have a really nice secondary bathroom. And I love the flooring. It's this black marble tiling down here. You have some pretty nice quartz countertops, and I love the color of this wood and the black handles on the cabinetry. What do you think about this?
I love it. I mean, the floors, you know, we're seeing some tile today that we haven't seen in any of the homes we've shot. So
Yeah, this is pretty unique, especially for a model home. I think they did a great job. And I do want to point out the shower here and tub. But look at the backsplash on this. It almost gives you like sauna vibes, and it's very spa-like with the wood texture wall that they have going on.
that's beautiful. And you know what I want to point out, Morgan, while we're here, and I should have mentioned it earlier, that J. Patrick really is a semi-custom builder. So folks, they have here in Colton, they have over 15 floor plans. I think on the price sheet there's actually 17. And you will actually sit down with the sales professional, Mitchie Marshall, and she will go over all the blueprints. And if you want to make changes to their plans, you can definitely do that. If you need to bump out walls, but truly semi-custom. So if you're not looking to build full custom, this is definitely a great option for you as far as a builder.
Absolutely. And then you do have a linen closet here behind double doors. So
Nice.
nice job done. We'll make our way across this hallway. And I missed this on the way into the bedroom, but you have another storage closet here behind some double doors. Really nice built-in shelves. So plenty of storage options throughout this house, which is always a huge plus. And we will make our way into secondary bedroom number 3 here. And this one's even bigger than the last one, I think.
Good Lord, I mean, this is a secondary bedroom with a king-size bed.
Yeah. So real nice space. Again, you do have the same vaulted ceilings that we just saw in the last secondary bedroom, as well as the same walk-in closet. But again, really nice size on the bedrooms.
Wow.
Can't say too much about them. They're just nice and
Yeah, spacious.
yeah, spacious. I love the windows. They bookend the bed here, so it gives you some nice natural light seeping through. And then your bathroom is also going to have dual entry, so this will cater to the bedroom, but it will also service the game room and the studies. So in this one, they did a different color scheme. You have black cabinetry, white quartz, and then they have a cool, funky black tile pattern going on for the shower surround.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And it's really tall too. I'm not sure how high these ceilings are,
These,
but
I want to say they're 10-foot high ceilings. They could be a little bit higher than that, but yeah, not the norm for a home done in a master plan community for sure.
exactly. So job well done, and I'll come out this way, and then we'll go through to the game room. So again, I love the railings here because they maintain this open feel, and you can actually look out into your giant great room, your kitchen, and then on the opposite side you can look out over into the foyer and really get a good glimpse of the backyard, the tall windows. It's really nice. So as you're making your way down the hallway, you have these double door barn doors, sliding barn doors, and when you come inside, it's actually a second study. So this is a great space for, kids or whoever else is in the house. If you just have an extra study, that way you can leave the downstairs one to, maybe the parents or just a single individual. But really nicely done. They have some wood paneling going on here, and I love the black that is throughout this entire home. So black cabinetry, they did gold hardware. A really nice space. I think this is probably the first we've seen a second study.
You're right.
I think
we
so.
haven't seen one. We usually just see one study.
Yeah, and I think this actually makes more sense now. I think that might be the new norm.
The only house I think we saw a second study was the one that had that Michael Jordan basketball court.
Oh, yeah.
And it had that, but it was kind of like it it was like a hallway dedicated study as you walk through to go to other areas.
Yeah, but this is
dedicated.
Secluded. It's,
Yeah.
You've got doors, you know,
Really
giving
nice.
some privacy. So really nice. And then as you make your way down the hallway, you are in the game room. And
This is pretty sweet.
Is awesome. I mean, it's very expansive. Again, I mean, they've got a pool table here, a poker table here. So you could really make this space whatever you wanted, but the idea behind it is for a game room. You've got nice wood beams on the ceiling, and even some woodwork that is on the ceiling as well. So wood beams and then some wood paneling going on at the top. And this again overlooks into the great room, so just a nice, great space to have.
Yeah. Yeah, that fireplace sure has a lot of color to it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And then before we take you out onto the balcony, you do have a nice cinema room behind some double doors. And they did the sectionals in here rather than the individual chases, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But really nice. They blacked everything out. You have 2 picture windows there. You even have a nice countertop here with some cabinetry. But really nice cinema room and some lighting, coach lighting, or sconces, excuse me, throughout this entire room. Really nicely done.
You know, the other thing they did the step up for the sectional that's in the rear, so you get a little bit of more height for people sitting in the back of the room.
And then you do have surround sound, built-in speakers at the top too, so if you did want to have surround sound, you could absolutely do that. Or maybe you did a projector, but really nicely done.
Yeah, and we're seeing this a lot more where they're, instead of going with those individual like theater type seats that recline, you're seeing more of like a living room, family room setup. It's just a lot more inviting, a lot more comfortable.
Absolutely. So we will take you out onto the balcony now. Look at the light that is in through this house. I mean, it's coming from
It's coming from everywhere.
Every angle. It's so nice. Now, you have 2, somebody locked this. You have 2 sliding doors leading you out onto your covered patio, or covered balcony, I should say. And you could just take in the views. You could have one of those fireplaces up here, the electric ones, or just table and chairs like they have here, but
this is nice.
Yeah.
Great place to come and relax if you're entertaining, just right off the game room.
Yeah.
So that concludes our tour of this beautiful J. Patrick model located here in Colton. Now folks, I do want to make a correction. I called this a 65-foot section. It is actually a 70-foot section. So these are really large lots. Now if you'd like to have a private tour of this or would like some more information, definitely reach out. Morgan and I's contact information is below in the description. And before I sign off, definitely hit that like button. Leave us some comments. What was your favorite feature about this house? Could you see yourself living in this model? Definitely hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you get notified when we release new videos each and every week. Folks, thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.